Hi, you're with Scott. This is Battery Exhausted, my channel. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is your right ear and your left ear because this is mono. Last year on Battery Exhausted, I uploaded some allotment videos. Whilst this is not strictly an allotment based channel, you can expect more from the allotment this year as part of the variety of content I upload. Last year, the potato reveal was a fun video to make, and I was surprised at the number of people who were interested in growing potatoes. After a comment from Summer Peach Whisper, I did promise that I'd take you through the whole process this year and not just the reveal. So here it is, Potato 101, how to grow your own potatoes. Hopefully this video is just in time for this year's planting season, which is in March generally in the UK. You can plant potatoes in the ground, and we will be covering this in another video, but I wanted to show you how to grow them in one of these bags. The benefit of a potato bag is you can put it virtually anywhere. You too can have homegrown potatoes and all the fun of your very own potato reveal. You can plant in virtually anything that's of a reasonable size and has a few drainage holes to let excess water escape and prevent waterlogging. Last year we got over 50 potatoes from one bag, so I'm going to try and repeat that success. Now, the first thing you'll need to do is prepare your potatoes to plant. The potatoes you plant to grow your new potato plants from are generally referred to as seed potatoes. Seed potatoes are not really going to produce seeds. They're just last year's potatoes that have been reserved for planting next year. Technically, you can use any potato, even the ones sold in the shops. However, some potato producers spray their spuds with a chemical to prevent them from sprouting roots so they can stay on supermarket shelves for longer. These will probably never turn into proper plants, and so it's better to get some seed potatoes. Some seed potatoes are sprayed with pesticides, but you can easily source organic seed potatoes that are from strong DNA stock. These seed potatoes come in all varieties. Aside from the actual type of potato, you'll find a distinction between first early, second early, main crop and second crop. Most potatoes take 70 to 90 days to grow and are best planted in March in the UK, but some varieties can be planted later in the year to give you a staggered harvest. Of course, this will vary depending on where you are in the world, but if you're in the UK, you still have time to successfully grow many varieties this season. If you're going for some first early, second earlies and late crops, make sure you clearly mark your planted potatoes, as you'll want to be sure when to dig them up. You can grow any variety of potato you wish, from big bakers to small dainty ones. Potatoes vary in starch content. The big starchy ones are fluffier, and this is great for mash and crispy roasties. The smaller, waxier ones are better in salads and sautés as they hold their shape when cooked. Those with thicker skins store better. Potatoes will grow thick roots called tubers that will in turn feed lots of little potatoes as they grow into full-size spuds. This will all happen underground. So the seed potatoes need to start growing little roots. If you've ever had potatoes in your cupboard for too long, you'll have seen these little growths, and you just cut them off before you cook the potatoes. We want to keep them and start the chitting before we plant them. We call this chitting for some reason. During the war, the practice of cutting bigger potatoes down into smaller seed potato chunks was common. Whilst this is not entirely necessary, the habit seems to have stuck around. Before you plant them, it's quite common to remove all but the best 2 or 3 sprouting eyes to give them the best chance of growing. So put your spuds somewhere dry and light for a few days to get them going. It's okay for them to get direct sunlight during this time. When planting the potatoes in the bag, I suggest having the bag where you want it. This is because when it's full of soil, the bag's going to be pretty heavy. Moving it is not impossible, but unless you're Eddie Hall, you might find it a bit of a backache to lug about. So put the bag where it's going to live before you fill it up. There's nothing wrong with the plants getting as much direct sunlight as possible in the UK, but you might want to consider your local climate when making this decision. Potato plants do need lots of sunlight, but if the sun shines directly on the tubers, they'll turn green and the potato crop will be reduced. The best thing to do, as we will see, is pile more soil on top of the plants as they grow up out the ground. This will ensure the tubers always remain in the dark. The British climate is perfect for potatoes, but I do suggest if you're watching this in Dubai or Alaska, you ask the internet if potatoes will thrive in your climate. The potato bag wants to be 1/3 full of soil. Now, mud comes in many forms. You can use all sorts of different composts and manures. As long as your potatoes are not packed in clay, they'll most likely grow and flourish. We do mix our basic allotment earth with some horse manure. Nothing special, just horse shit and straw. As a vegan, and you knew I was going to have to mention veganism at some point, I don't agree with owning horses generally, except in the case of rescue animals. See my vegan pets video for those ideas. So we're lucky to know a nice rescue shelter with lots of manure that they don't require. So the plan is to plant your seed potatoes evenly apart. You probably only need 1 or 2 for each bag. Too many and the plants will struggle to compete for space. Next, shovel on 1/3 more soil. Now remember, we're not filling the bag full at this point. As the potatoes grow, the green plants are going to stick up out of the ground. If we cover these growths, then the plant will grow more potatoes in the top third and continue to shoot upwards. So leave the final third of your bag empty. The only downside of growing in a bag is that you'll have to water it. Potatoes planted in earth directly don't require as much watering, as they'll receive more water from rainfall and the ground does not tend to dry out as quickly. So water your bags regularly. Don't worry if they seem to dry out occasionally. You'll be able to tell how healthy your plants are by the state of their leaves. Of course, you can overwater a plant, but potato bags have good drainage, and unless you're leaving the hose running all day, they should not suffer from overwatering. Just a few litres each day, and check the soil has not dried out and hardened up at the bottom of the bag. Just give it a squeeze. That's it. Now you just want to keep an eye on them as they grow. Don't worry at all about bugs and soil life. That's quite natural. It won't damage your crop. Do worry about aphids. We were nearly infested last year, but I simply snipped off the affected stalks and consigned them to the compost bin. Yes, that is vegan, better than spraying the plants with chemicals anyway. If you do try growing your potatoes in a bag, let me know how you got on. Send me some pictures of your potato bags to truebinaural@outlook.com, and I'll keep you updated on allotment life as the spring and summer progresses. If you like this video, share it, click like, subscribe, grow your own potatoes in a bag on your roof, but don't blame me if you overdo it and cause your flat roof to collapse and create a potato rapids of spuds tumbling down your staircase. Be good, my little Pukkos. Be good.
Her lipstick on too thick and I think I'm sinking in. Inside my head I think I'm sick, I don't know where to begin. If I have a drink, I smoke, I cope, I'm waiting for the day. Words I wrote and kisses me and says it's okay, it's all okay. 'Cause I'm a will, I'm in time, I'm gone, so take all night. I'm at the wheel, it's a steal, out of sight and out of my mind. Dresses down around me, I still think that she's real neat. It's not the way she goes about, the way that she stamps her feet. Everyday conversation, it seems to lack a finesse. I make it obvious that she's the one that I like the best. 'Cause I'm a will, I'm a time, I'm gone, so take all night. I'm at the wheel, it's a steal, out of sight and out of mind. And I'm a will, I'm a time, I am gone, so take all night. I'm at the wheel, it's a steal, out of sight and out of my mind. Out of sight, out of my mind. 'Cause I'm the will, I'm the time, I'm gone, so take all night. I'm at the wheel, it's a steal, out of sight and out of mind. And I'm the will, I'm the time, I'm gone, so take all night. I'm at the wheel, it's a steal, out of sight and out of my mind.